Yeah, hello guys. Like we promised, we will bring you interviews with various experts who live in Czech Republic, especially people from experts from Africa. Today we are in a town called Milovice. Milovice is a small town which is few minutes from Prague, approximately 40 minutes by drive. We are here to interview our guest, and our guest is from a country in Africa that had a devastating experience. But this this guy managed to navigate within this difficult situation, got educated in various countries, and then end up schooling in Czech Republic. He graduated with honors and working with one of the biggest financial institutions in Central or in Europe. Today, we're here to interview an expert from the country Rwanda. And Rwanda is a model. Even from the pictures and from experience, Rwanda is one of the most beautiful countries in Africa. So our guest is from Rwanda. So we will be having a chat with our guest. So let's get to our guest now. He's here with us, Mr. Musoni. Welcome.
Thank you.
Please can you introduce yourself, where you grew up, and then how long have you lived in Czech Republic?
My name is Steven Musoni. I am from Rwanda. As you said, I've been here in Czech Republic for 7 years already, almost. I am from Rwanda. For those who don't know where Rwanda is in the East Africa. We share borders with DRC Congo, Uganda, Burundi, and Tanzania. So I was born actually in Uganda, but I'm a Rwandese. So yeah, that's a short introduction about myself.
So, where did you start your education? Like, because I know a lot of people have questions on, because you seem to be older than 94.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
good.
definitely.
So, how did you start your education? Where did you start your education? How did you end up?
Yeah, I started studying in Uganda, of course, and
In Kampala?
No, not of course, in some Ugandan villages.
Okay.
Yeah, because I'm not born from a town. I was born in a village, so I started my education in one of the villages in Uganda, and then I came to Rwanda where I continued my studies. Then you want to tell me everything about my studies, or
No, it's okay. At least some basic stuff. That's why it's not that.
yeah.
So, what did you study in what do you call it, in Rwanda?
In Rwanda, I was studying biology and education.
Education.
So before I came to Rwanda, before I came to Czech Republic to do my masters, I was a biology teacher.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. So in high school or?
Yes, in high school.
I see.
Yeah.
So why did you choose to study in Czech Republic?
Actually, when I was doing my first degree, I had a professor who was my friend. He was my professor in my first degree, and he was my professor and my good friend. And then he came to do his PhD in Czech Republic, and then we were in contact. Then he's the one who recommended me to apply for a master's degree in Czech University of Life Sciences.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Wow, that's good. So that is actually the motivation behind you choosing to study in...
Yeah, yes, because when you're in Africa, you are looking for opportunities because of sometimes there's a lot of unemployment rate.
Yeah.
So you try to look for opportunities. If you can get more education, then it can even be better. So I didn't have any specific countries that I was looking for, but because of the professor who was encouraging me, so he showed me that you can apply for this school, and then I started application.
Oh, okay. That's good. At least that's nice. Most people really like to also have similar opportunities. So if you can tell us, like, if the application process, how was it? Was it difficult? Because I know people will be watching and they'll be interested in also trying to use similar methods. So if you can at least tell us how the application process was, and was it difficult? What was a challenge?
Yeah, well, the application process was a little bit challenging for me because when my professor sent me this link to Czech University of Life Sciences,
yeah,
when I was trying to open it, it was in Czech. And then I said, "Oh, I will not understand this language," because that time even the Google Translate was not common to use it.
Yeah.
And then he told me, "Okay, you can try to translate it." And then I started translating the link to English.
The English language.
And then that's when I started. I put on the details of the application, and I started getting in contact with Lucas.
Ah, Lucas,
Yeah,
yeah.
with Lucas, and then we took it from there. Yeah.
Okay. So, is there also opportunities for people who would like to apply for like scholarship scheme? Is there like some links for people who, because a lot of people will be asking that they want scholarship and they want scholarship. Do we really recommend if there's a kind of scholarship scheme for foreigners or people from the third world countries who would like to study or people from other part of the
No, I don't know. I don't know. For me, for myself, it was not a scholarship, but it was cheap. The tuition was cheap, and because I had a little bit it's a good grade,
Yeah,
so it was a little bit of a scholarship, but not 100% scholarship. But we were in the same
class, yeah.
program. It was affordable.
It was, of
But-
course, the cost. Right?
Yeah,
I
and
think it was 5,000 Czech crowns. Right?
Yes, 5,000, which is 200 euros.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was quite affordable.
Yeah, it
I
was
remember very
affordable.
well. Yeah. So now let's back to studying here. So, what difference, or if you can tell us what difference did you realize the differences in our education system back in Africa, and also the differences in the education system in here?
Yeah. First of all,
Because
I would say
content and classrooms and other stuff.
first of all, that's a good question. I would say time. Professors here, they give a lot of time to students.
Yeah.
Unlike in Africa, where a professor has like 300, 400 students, he or she should be responsible of. But here, the professor has not many students, and the professor always has time for his students. For instance, every time a professor is always welcome for consultation.
Yeah.
And if you go for consultation, the professor is always happy to receive you and to advise you about anything that can be difficult with your courses. So that's one of the major differences. Another difference is the testing methodology.
Yeah, the examination.
In Africa, they give you, it's always a written tests, but in here, most of the time it was oral tests.
Yeah.
When you go for oral tests, it's like a discussion.
Yeah.
Sometimes you don't really know the answer, but the professor is trying to test your thinking. Yeah.
I remember Mandak.
Yeah. It's about one of our professors.
Yeah.
You will be speaking, you ask a question or a topic, and then if you don't know, he's trying to push you to the answer.
Yeah.
He's trying to push you to the other, but of course he's just testing your thinking.
Yeah.
He's testing your thinking. But in Africa, I think they are testing the capacity of students, the memorizing capacity.
The ability to memorize.
To memorize, yeah. Ability to memorize stuff, but here they are testing the ability to think. To think and reason. Yeah.
It's more of what do you call it? Reasoning.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Those are the two major differences: time that the professors give and testing methodology.
Yeah, logic and reasoning actually is what they do here.
Exactly.
I really remember very well those days. You know, when you are oriented in a different way, and you come and you meet a different situation, so it becomes difficult. So in the beginning, it becomes a challenge. So did you experience any challenge studying here or maybe living here?
Of course, I experienced a lot of challenges when I came because I found myself alone at the campus because I didn't have many friends. Of course, I found you and we started doing things together. But before I found you, it was difficult for me. Another challenge was you have to work and study at the same time. Yeah, that was a big challenge because.
What about your shoe?
Sometimes, yeah, we're coming to that. Just give me a second. I'm coming to that. Yeah. So sometimes you have to work during the night, and then you have a class. in the next morning. So that was a challenge. You had a night shift,
Yeah.
and then you have to work. You have to go to school in the morning. So it's really difficult for everybody who does that. That's a really big challenge.
Yeah.
So you talk about my shoe. One time I went to work. I didn't check the weather, and I had these
Shoes.
summer shoes that I used to put in Africa. And then I made a mistake. I didn't check the connection, the bus
Yes.
connection, and then I had to wait for 1 hour
Outside, it was
outside
cold.
in winter.
Yeah.
So that was really difficult. It was really cold for me. And when I got back to the room, I had to put my legs on the heater because they were not my legs anymore. Yeah.
Yeah. You didn't feel them.
So those are one of the experience.
In terms of
About
what about the transportation system? Did you have difficulty in adjusting to them? And
Yes, in the first days I didn't know which application to use, but once I knew how to use the application for transportation,
yeah,
it became easy. And yeah, because here in Prague you don't have a lot of metros. It's not so many metros. So
no, it's not,
honestly,
like the lines
three
are not.
metros. Yeah.
The metro is okay, but it's
Yeah.
just that the lines are just three. It's not confusing as
Yes.
compared to other countries, so it's just easy to use.
Yeah.
You either use A or B or C, and that's
Exactly.
yeah. And so, any other culture shock, like any culture shock since you moved here? Did you see something that was like you found it strange in terms of your culture orientation? And
Yeah. Well, I would say before I came to this country, to Czech Republic, I didn't know that the white people really have discipline. But then I came to realize that white people have discipline, and I learned a lot of things from them. For instance, I'll give you a small example. When you're in a public transport,
yeah,
when there is some old person, the young people have to stand up and give them
a seat.
seat. Yeah, that is something that I learned. That's a culture difference that I have learned from the white people.
But I think in Africa too, people give seats.
Yeah, they do it, but it's not so common. Yeah, some young people will not, but here it's really too much, and I really appreciate. I really respect them about that. Another culture difference is that here people eat in public. Yeah, you can eat in public, but in my country, you cannot eat in public.
Yeah, you either eat at home or
you eat in a restaurant or at home.
At home.
But here you can be in a train, in a tram, and people start eating.
Yeah, because there's no time,
Yeah,
everybody's busy working.
Yeah, another culture difference is that here about the alcohol consumption.
Yeah.
In my country, it's rare to find women in pubs drinking alcohol. It's not so common.
Because you'll be called alcoholic woman.
Yeah, but here it's like women, young girls,
yeah, that's a
they drink alcohol. Like
that's a mode of happiness.
It's normal for them to drink alcohol.
And
that's another culture difference.
I see. So, based on these experiences that you've got, like, what will you recommend to anyone who intends to, who also like to study in Czech Republic? What recommendation will you give to the person, and how would the person go about it?
Well, at this time we don't have so much scholarships like in previous years. So what I would recommend to young people who want to study abroad is to have a vision. Have a vision. If you really want it, you have to try it. Don't just get discouraged if you apply for one visa and it's rejected. Try again. Look for information, because information
It's key.
Is key and it's power. Look for information. Consult people who have done it before. Yeah. Don't limit yourself that you want to apply to this country. Try other countries. If you really want to come and pursue your studies, don't limit yourself on one country. But maybe you can limit yourself about what you want to study. But of course, it's not what you want to study is not only in one country. can
exactly. It can be
be in
in
different
different countries, so
countries.
it's not really only in Czech
Yeah.
Republic. It could
So
be in other countries,
yeah,
Sweden or
yeah. So
Denmark, or it could be
mhm,
Norway.
mhm.
I see. And then, so you have a Czech embassy do you have Czech embassy in Rwanda? Is it that, or you have to, or people who apply for visa have to travel somewhere?
No, we don't have it right now. Yeah, that's what I even wanted to tell you my application process, but I summarized it. So my application process, I had to apply for a visa to Czech Republic in Ethiopia. So but by that time,
Oh,
we didn't have an embassy in Kenya. So we
okay.
had it in Ethiopia. So I had to move. I had to apply for another visa to Ethiopia to apply for a visa to
A
Czech
visa.
Republic.
Wow.
And we didn't even have an embassy for Ethiopia in my country.
So where was the embassy?
It was in Uganda. So I had to go to Uganda to the Ethiopian embassy for Rwanda to apply for a visa to Ethiopia. And when I get to Ethiopia, I applied for a visa for Czech Republic.
But I think Ethiopia is in East Africa, right?
No, sorry, it's Africa. Yeah. East Africa, there are 5 countries. We have Uganda, Kenya, Tanzania, Rwanda, and Burundi.
I see. Wow.
And
So
Congo was applying recently, I think,
to join,
to
yeah.
join. I think it was approved, yeah.
Ah, okay.
So DRC Congo will be also a member.
Oh, okay.
If not a member right now, but
In the near
I read
future,
news
at
of
least,
yeah.
yeah.
Congo was
After
applying.
following the due process and
Yeah.
agreeing, yeah. So now you've been living in Czech Republic. There are, okay, so engineer, how has your studies in Czech Republic or in Europe changed your perspective about the world?
Well, so when we get here in these foreign countries, like for instance Czech Republic, we meet a lot of foreigners, we meet a lot of international students. So you learn a lot of things in terms of culture, in terms of, like, of course, what you're studying, you learn. But mostly, my perspective has changed. Like, I have learned a lot of culture. I have learned a lot of things, how people work here. It's a fast,
the working culture.
yes, it's a fast environment. You don't have to work, even walking. You have to walk really, really fast.
Yeah, because you are behind time. You need to catch a train. You have a.
So when you're at work, you have to really work. It's 8 hours job, so you have to work non-stop for 8 hours. So the culture is, the work-wise, you have to be really professional, and culture-wise, of course, you have to learn a lot of culture. Of course, good behaviors, not bad behaviors. So I have learned a lot of good behaviors from international people, from foreigners, and it has given me a lot of experience. Yeah,
That's good. So so now let's also look at one thing. A lot of people who come here, they could be who come here to school. After schooling, they graduate. So is there is there any, like, do they have opportunities? They get jobs? Is there is there grounds that fertile for graduate students to get jobs or?
You mean here in Czech
Yeah, I'm
Republic?
talking about here.
Of course, yes. Yeah, Czech Republic is a country that gives opportunities to people who have studied here, and of course, if you have graduated in a public university, you have free access to job market, and it's up to you to find a job, which
sector
field you want to work, and of course, if you find a job and perform well, you get promotion. It's about merit.
It's a fair ground.
It's a fair ground. Really, you just have to work hard, and build your career.
That's good. So, what would be your advice or last word you give to people who actually will be interested in moving to Czech Republic, being it in terms of job or being in terms of studies? What would be your last word for people like that who will be watching this video?
Yeah, my last word, as I said it, when you asked me if how people can really, if somebody has a dream, interest of coming to study abroad, it's to be determined about it, to have a vision, and of course to set this goal that I want to go and study abroad. And of course, it is really good experience to move out of your country and learn. Yeah, it's not about learning things in a school, but it's about learning experience. Learning about other countries, how you don't have to look about these things in theory. You need to move and come on the ground and the field and see.
it
and
is.
get experience. Yeah. So
Yes.
I advise young people to try and move out of their countries. You may not move from your country for living here for good, but at least travel a little bit. It changes
Your
the
perspective.
mindset. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
change your perspective.
Yeah.
Okay, so you have some last words for people, some people that you'll be saying shout out to, some friends or some
Yeah,
family
of course,
members.
baby Anka,
Okay.
Winnie, yeah,
Yes, yes.
yeah. I shout
Yeah.
out to them. Yeah, I shout out all our colleagues from Tabera. Yeah,
Tabela.
yeah,
Oh, okay. I
yes.
think.
Colleagues who have been in Shukudor, yeah,
Yeah.
in Kamiska. I shout out them. Yeah,
Back
and
home in
all
Rwanda.
the black community in Czech Republic. I shout out all of them. A lot of them. I have a lot of friends here, so all of them. Big up all of them. Yeah.
Thank you so much for your time.
Yeah. Thank you to engineer.
So, thank you so much for being with us. I will encourage you to please do watch and subscribe to our channel. And then you'll be getting update anytime we shoot a new video. Thank you so much for watching. Ahoy!